Hi guys. So what I'm asking you to do today is to go over onto your IXL and do the diagnostics there for those of you who are not used to the diagnostics, because I noticed a lot of you guys don't have it on your thing. First off, they're like, remember how when you were taking the STAR test, you would run into questions that you had absolutely no idea what they were asking, and it was super confusing, and you're just going, I don't know how to do this problem. Yeah, it's supposed to do that, because what it's doing is it's going, oh, you know how to do this? Gives you a harder problem. Do you know how to do this one? Oh, you know how to do that one? Gives you a harder problem. Do you know how to do this one? Until you get to a problem that you don't know how to do. And then it starts giving you easier problems. And by going up and down from up all the way up until it gets to be too hard, to down to too easy, to back up to too hard, and all of that, that's how the STAR test works. That's also how the diagnostic test works on IXL. It will give you questions you don't know how to answer. That does not mean that you need to go ask your mom or dad how to answer the question. In fact, you're not supposed to ask for any help. You are supposed to answer the questions the best that you can by yourself. Now, this also isn't giving you leeway to just sit here and say, you know what, I don't know how to do any of these, because I know you do. All right. So right now I'm on my son's webpage. I'm on my son's homepage for it. He already signed in and everything. And it brings him up to recommendations to start with. We'll come back here in just a minute. But up here at the very top, you see it says Learning, Diagnostic, Analytics. If I click on Diagnostic, it'll take a second. And then it'll bring us over to here. Start diagnosing to reveal your levels. And we are going to step into the arena. Now, one thing I want you to know is my son is in 7th grade. He's going to be in 8th grade next year, which means questions that he is going to get are not going to be the same kinds of questions that you are going to get. His will be completely and totally different. So when it starts the diagnostic, you'll know that you're in the diagnostic because it'll have this little blue thing with the 3 flags on the top of it, and it'll tell you to choose a question. He has, it looks like, 2 different kinds of English questions, 2 different kinds of language arts or reading type questions to choose from. You may have 1 reading question, 1 math question, or 2 math questions. It doesn't matter which one you choose. Choose whichever one looks the most interesting, whichever one looks the easiest to do. Doesn't matter. What is the difference between a fragrance and a smell, or what is an antonym for peaceful? You know what? I'm going to go over to here. What is an antonym for peaceful? And I am going to say, I know that the opposite of peaceful, so I have 3 choices: quiet, argument, vicious. The antonym is vicious. Submit. That's right. Looks like you've got that down. And it moves on to the next question. What is the difference between slender and lanky? Lanky describes someone who's awkwardly tall and thin. Slender describes someone who's unusually tall. Lanky describes someone who is short and round. You know what? I'm going to sit here and I'm going to go, I have no idea what lanky means. I've never even heard of that word before. So they're down here at the bottom. It says, I don't know this yet. And you can click on that. Okay, we'll make sure to work on that later. So it writes down, that was too hard. Let's try something easier. We can come back to that. Now, it lets me know which ones you don't know how to do yet. So don't go putting down, I don't know how to do 1 plus 2, okay? You know how to do 1 plus 2. You need to do your best, but it needs to be your best, okay? I don't want you going and asking for help from your parents. This is supposed to be doing it by yourself. I need to know what you know how to do, not what somebody else knows how to do. It's very important to be what you know how to do. So for this one, it's back to antonyms again. Which word is the antonym of prevent? Avoid, permit, stall. Oh, I know this one. It's permit, allow. That's right. Looks like you've got that down. Now, so it's saying, okay, so in vocabulary, we're starting to know where it is. And then it's jumping over to math here. Now, I know you don't know how to do this one. I know that none of you know how to do this one yet. That is perfectly fine. I'm not expecting you to. But let's say that I'm going to give it a go. And I'm going to go, okay, maybe that's a 9, I think. That's not it, but we'll try again later. And then you're starting to narrow down your level in numbers and operations. You see how it goes closer and closer and closer and closer and closer? Eventually, it'll get completely put together into one spot, and it'll have an actual dot go there for it when we're completely done with the whole thing. So once you've gone through the diagnostic, and I'm going to ask you to spend probably 20 minutes on this, I think. 20 to 30 minutes. You can spend longer if you want to, but I think I'm going to ask you to spend 20 minutes on it. You can go over, the reason we're doing this is so that we can then go over to here, to where it says learning. So I'm up on the green bar again, where it says learning. And up here we have recommendations. These recommendations are from your diagnostic. And my face is going back and forth and all sorts of things. That's okay. So what's going to end up happening is later on, I'm going to say, okay, go over to your recommendations and pick something out of your recommendations to do. Your recommendations is this page. It's under learning. It's next to the math tab and the language arts tab. And you go down and you go, well, here I can put words in the right order to describe a noun. Here I could use paper clips to measure a pen. Here I could measure things with cubes. Here I could subtract fractions. Here I could look for formal sentences. I could use dashes. I could sort words by parts of speech. I could put things on a number line. Yours will not look like his. This one is specifically based upon his scores. You'll have different ones. So you'll have things like organizing shapes, or what number comes next, or find the verb in the sentence, that kind of thing. And then if you click on one of them, let's see, let's click on this one. How many cubes long is the paint? If I click on that, it takes me to one of the levels and one of the sections immediately. And it asks, how many cubes long is the tape? Well, this tape is 1, 2, 3. So we'll go with 3, submit. And you see this right here? This will start popping up on your diagnostic ones. If you click on it,
how many cubes long is the stapler?
It'll read it to you.
The stapler is blank cubes long.
All right. So whenever you see this right there, you can click on it and it will read you exactly what the question is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think that you guys have all done, the actual learning part of it. I think it was just the diagnostic that you hadn't done yet. So let's say that we go through this entire thing and we get 100%, I got gold on it. Yay, I get to go over and I get to get the picture and I get to get all of that stuff. If you go over to awards, you can get pictures unlocked for getting gold on things, for getting all the way up to 100 on your SMART score down here. Once I get there, if I go back to my recommendations, it will no longer be recommending this one. It'll be recommending a different one, the next one in the list. So then you can sit here and you can go, oh, okay, so I finished this one. Let's go find something else to do. And then you can go back over to recommendations, which is right here, and look through the tabs that they have there for the different things that you could do. See, we didn't finish this one. That's why it's still there under recommendations. If we'd finished it, it wouldn't be there anymore. All right, so what I want you to do is to log onto your own IXL and go over to the diagnostic and work on that for about 20 minutes. All right, it doesn't matter which one of them that you choose to work on, which one you choose to click on, doesn't matter, whichever one you want. Work on it by yourself. If you don't know how to do it, you click on the I haven't done this yet, but I want you to give an honest attempt at doing it, okay? All right, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.